so much. Thank you very much for the invitation to speak on this wonderful occasion of recognizing women's voices, presence, and talents in our community. I'm actually a regular at these banquets, and I systematically bring with me my two daughters, Alex and Vera, because I want them to feel the great energy, the inspiration, and empowerment of this event. In a moment of grave financial crisis created by what I believe is a return of a feudal model where the top of the hierarchy finds itself entitled to their riches, while the vassals are dispossessed of dignity and wealth, women are, once again, particularly affected. Most layoffs or non-reappointments occurring on campus today are happening to women. Women are being dismissed, their value questioned, their gains reduced. And this is happening today in a country like ours, where women still earn 2/3 of what their male counterparts get. On a larger scale, the dismissal acquires a magnitude of femicide. Again, a silent fact, dismissed in favor of other priorities, the traditional victim condition of women taken for granted. The World Health Organization estimates that as many as 100 million women are missing in Asia due to selective abortion, female infanticide, violence, and differential child-rearing practices favoring the son. In China alone, there are 170 boys for every 100 girls, a clear demographic catastrophe. The misogynistic practices are so pervasive that they have shaped profound cultural beliefs, such as the fact that in many communities in Asia and Africa, the sons are the ones who perform burial rituals for their parents. If your soul cannot rest in peace, who wants to rear women? Systematic rape, slave prostitution, domestic violence, female mutilation, infanticide, feminicide are affecting millions of women and girls today all over the planet. Last week in Spain, a Muslim family was in court accused of giving their 14-year-old daughter in marriage to a 40-year-old man from their country of origin, Mauritania, and when he visited Spain, he raped her. And she ran for refuge and could not find it within her family. The Spanish law is protecting her, hardly being able to handle a situation of such misogynistic cultural proportions. Her extended family, both in Spain and Mauritania, is dismissing her, is considering her at fault because she dares to speak. This is why these opportunities to honor voices and women's talents, to celebrate their diversity and power are so important. Speaking being a burden as well, an occasion for rejection and fault, a territory less explored for women who feel afraid to utter in public, afraid of being accused, dismissed, ridiculed, even killed, feeling foreign to a language that dispossesses them, that reduces them to words that are not truly empowering, kind, faithful to their sense of independence and uniqueness, words that reflect cultural practices that deprive them of their own name, your last name being a mark of belonging to another, as if a changeable, fragile, fragmented, a lesser person, your name, your identity dismissed. However, this cultural practice of males branding their names over their women is taken for granted in the United States as well, oblivious of what it represents. Speaking as a position where you don't belong. Speaking being, in my case, a weapon, a hybrid magnet for anxiety, puzzling words that empower in a language that is not mine and it is. Speaking as commitment, as a site of refuge, a bond of reflection and safety. Words are my path, are my nightmare, language reflecting oppression, but also tenderness, safety, a place to rest, words not being entirely mine, speaking in a foreign tongue, this tongue being as well the English language for me, English being still my foreign path. However, when I came to this country 20 years ago, I found my shelter and a sense of community. The biggest personal treasure acquired being the understanding, the complexities and politics of the women discourse. Before that, I had found myself uneasy and confused about what represented the norm being the mainstream values that subject women to a lesser category, to a commodity for a change. limiting their freedom, their imagination, their understanding and control over their own bodies and images. Here, I found a discourse that supported my sense that something was wrong. A key for opening the political war for women issues, for a path of women's liberation that we have to continue to use and define. My whole career is devoted to women, through academic criticism, theater, art, poetry. My exhibition at UVM back in 2006, enthusiastically supported by the Women's Center at the Women and Gender Studies program, celebrated diversity, creative collaboration with women, and political resistance. The title, "The Only Bush I Trust Is My Own." Words again, as weapons reinventing themselves, reinventing women's reality and power. My current big project involves moons, 13 to be exact. Moons of existential connection, of science, menstruation, poetry, moons as paths for testimonials, such as the 80-year-old woman who got pregnant 12 times, lost most of her children when they were infants or at birth, and confessed to me with puzzled eyes that she never experienced what we call an orgasm, that she never really knew what was going on with her expanding body every time she found herself suddenly pregnant. My own mother confessing that she did not know where her first child was coming from, convinced that her anus was the birth canal, that a kiss was at fault. These are our women. These women are us. And we have to persist in listening, in taking them out of darkness, out of silence and dismissal, out of death. We have to keep speaking out no matter how painful, how strange, how foreign and difficult it might be. This is both a necessity and a commitment, a celebration of the incredible voices, talent and inspiration of women around us. Let's keep the fight, que siga la lucha. Muchas gracias, thank you so much.